Hello, my literary littles. Welcome back to Bulldog Books. We're going to begin, as we usually do, with our nonsense word practice. So, if you finish this whole page of nonsense words in 1 minute, start back over at the top, and then we're going to pause it so you can keep track of your score. Are you ready? Get set. Okay, now's the part in our video where you will pause the video, go back and count all the nonsense words you were able to read in that 1 minute, and then keep track of your score. We're trying to see if each time you do this practice, you're able to read a few more words and do it well. It's time, friends. We got to finish up our book about John Henry. Now, what do you remember from the first couple of parts that we've read of this book? Is John Henry a small sized man? Is he medium or is he big? He is big. Is he weak or is he strong? He is strong. He has a big voice and big muscles. And the last part of this book that we read, John Henry was helping put in the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. And in this picture, he's got two giant hammers. Each one is 20 pounds because he's so strong. And he sings as he likes to hammer. Is that his favorite tool? Yeah, hammering is his favorite tool. So, are you ready to read page 21? Begin. So, what is the problem that our railroad crew has found themselves dealing with? They came to this big mountain. What's the name of the mountain? It's called Big Bend. Everything else they've been able to go around, but what do they have to do with this mountain? They have to go through it. They have to build the longest tunnel that's ever been built up to this point in history. So let's read page 22. And now, page 23. So we are about to have a contest. Who is going to be competing in this contest? Okay, so we have this drill, steam-powered drill, and John Henry is going to see if he can move rocks with his hammer faster than this machine. Ooh, I don't know. If you were going to make a prediction, who do you think is going to win? Do you think the machine is going to be faster, or do you think John Henry is going to be faster? We're going to have to read. Let's go. Oh, both of these are working so hard. John Henry is hammering away, and the machine is hammering away. Let's take a look at this page. So John Henry won the contest, but he worked so hard that he didn't survive the contest. Take a look at this page that tells us a little bit more about the main character in this story. So this is titled About John Henry. And we're going to choral read this all together. Are you ready? Many people believe that the legend of John Henry is based on a real man. So remember, this story, while there's a lot of truth to it about building railroads and the tools they used to do that, this is still considered a legend. Like John Henry didn't really, he wasn't a real person, but he kind of represented some of the real people that were working on railroads at the time. He may have been born a slave in the South before the Civil War. When the war ended, he went to work as a steel driver for the railroads. Do you remember toward the beginning of the book, we read that John Henry did a bunch of different jobs before he found the railroad? The real John Henry might even have won a race with an early steam drill. The race probably didn't kill him, though. Like many other railroad workers, he may have died in an accident or from breathing deadly rock dust. His story lived on in the songs of Southern railroad gangs. The king of the steel drivers became a hero of the working men whose strong arms and spirit helped America grow. Now, over on page 29, we have a list of words or a glossary of words that we saw throughout our story, where if these were words that you had never read before or you weren't sure what they meant, you could find the list of those words and their definitions here in our glossary of words. Now, the other cool thing about this book, over here we have other books you can read, as well as websites that you can go to if you wanted to pause the video and learn more about the legend of John Henry. There's some really cool stories out there. And then I like this part on page 31 because this tells us a little about the author, Virginia Champ, tells us a little bit about like her background, where she comes from. And then same thing about our illustrator, Jess Yeomans. It tells us about where she was born and what she does. What a cool book to learn all about this legend of John Henry. I hope you had a great time reading this piece of history with me.